This is Madden 19. I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a good one in store between the Columbus Explorers and the London Monarchs. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half. But it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, thank you. We are about 4,300 miles away from you there in Orlando as we come to you from the European home of the NFL, London, England. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Columbus Explorers and the London Monarchs. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. Charles, you look at the Londoners as they get ready here. They come in off a loss last time out, but they've been playing better than 500 ball the last couple months. 5 wins in their last 8 games. Meanwhile, for the visiting Columbus club, they were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
The final playoff push is upon us. It's week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And they'll be led out by the man running the show, Charles, their quarterback.
It's pretty much become the norm when we see guys come out before a game and go through the route tree with their receivers. I thought it was exciting for us to see the exact same thing happen in practice.
He's so meticulous, isn't he?
He really is, and that told me it's not just a one-time-a-week thing. They work on it all the time, trying to hone that fine edge. They want to see if they can get in sync and stay in sync in this one.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Wide open receiver complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 30.
Back to throw now on 1st down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
All right, here we go.
On 3rd down, that's Walters. And a broken tackle helps lead to a 1st down gain. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive.
Hurry up.
They'll drop to throw. Throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script, you go through your play calling, you go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
And give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a 2nd and goal. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal.
Here we go now.
Back to throw here. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90. Hot.
Back to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow him to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let him get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. Now on 4th down, out comes the field goal unit here. And his kick is right there. It's good. And the opening drive of the game yields 3. So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't whip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that they will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well and they can break things open. But right now, this is all about letting the offense just get settled in.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fairly short kick, taking it to 14 here. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback.
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who have helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. But that's what good leadership gives you. You know, at the end of the season, because you've done a great job, QB, he's usually the guy who springs for the good stuff.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Here we go now.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. The numbers for him from a week ago: 3 catches, 52 yards.
And they think they have a matchup advantage in this one. They're going to try and find some space for him to work and make sure he touches the football.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10.
Now let's go.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st. Again, he'll drop to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. And a nice gain at 21 yards. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And he gets into the end zone for the touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And his guys have taken a first-quarter lead. Partner, are they going to cover him? That's 4 catches and the touchdown grab on that opening drive.
Well, what we're seeing so far, I believe, is their understanding that they want to go to him and often, but also they know they've got to move him around a little bit, get him into some different spots to continue to find open space to throw him the football. Otherwise, I just run 2 or 3 guys at him. They're doing a nice job of finding his way open, scheming him, as they like to say.
Extra point right down the middle, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. So that drive spanned 5 plays. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now this offense ready to head back out there. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. A look there at the starters on the defensive side of the ball. They were very strong in that victory from a week ago.
Yeah, they gave up 17 points, but that's about what you consider the break-even mark. If you give up 17 points a game all year long, you're thinking you're going to be a playoff team. That's what you're looking for. Room to improve, of course, but pretty nice effort.
They had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10.
Now let's go. 3-19.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. A gain of a yard gets them back where they started. Now it's 3rd and 10.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've hit the end of quarter 1. 7-3 the score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this. Sitting alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin as it's London football to begin quarter number 2. They've got it 3rd and 10 here to start things out. The play fake. He'll look to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Tucker. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
And that'll be incomplete. But not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right, that pass will go from incomplete to complete.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
Now back to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. Call it a pickup of 7, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
The defense working their way back out now onto their home turf. And a touchdown given up the last time they were out there, so maybe need to refocus a little bit.
And make sure that they don't start finger pointing with each other, because oftentimes when a touchdown's given up, you say, okay, where did that happen? Who broke down? Who gave it up? Instead, just go back out there, be a unit again, and try and play a little bit better.
Yeah, see if they can play a little bit better on this drive.
Hurry up, here we go.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. They'll look to throw here. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4. They bring their punter out there now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And he'll take it just outside the 40. 43 yards on the punt. 7-yard return, and this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50, 1st and 10. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Wide open receiver complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
And they'll run it here. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. My good friend Charles and I right back at you after this. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. A strong broken tackle on that one. And then they get him to the ground just shy of the 15. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
So we're back to a 1-point game now as the kickoff comes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And here now the offense heading back out there. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a two-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. A gain of 32 that time. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Trying to lay one up deep. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Now he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down.
Enough takes to start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Here we go now.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to let this one go deep. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. So a very tight first half. We had to break in a 1-point game. As it's time now to send you back stateside to Orlando, Florida, and check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, bye weeks, they're over. We've once again got a full slate of games to get to as we take you around the NFL here in Week 12. We'll start over in Texas at AT&T Stadium in Arlington. And as you see, they were winners back on Thursday night. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the 2nd quarter. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a defensive struggle. Which offense can break through in the 2nd half? To find out, let's hand it over to our broadcast team of Brandon Gotten and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. As they say here in London, all to play for as we are back underway in the 2nd half. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light there. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
He's going to go up top again. He's got a man, complete.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Looking deep downfield. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on it at 2nd down.
Sometimes we wonder about play calls, but this one made perfect sense to me. He's got the only touchdown that they've scored in this game. Tried to get it to him again on another deep ball.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. He's going to rifle one. Got a man. It's caught at the 6-yard line. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. And what a big-time play there. And even 40 yards. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme, so he doesn't get hit back there. He's got a chance to step up with supreme confidence and deliver it downfield for a nice completion.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39.
They'll go with the keeper, and he is into the end zone for a touchdown. It's their quarterback, his second touchdown of the afternoon, and his guys find a way to stretch that lead.
Instead of having to play follow the leader there, the leader led.
I like that. And he likes that, doesn't he? First and goal, let me do the job.
Because you know when he falls into the end zone after falling behind those big guys who pushed up front, that's a pretty good celebration, isn't it?
Gives him a little street cred in the locker room, too, doesn't it?
Street cred, and then when they go out to dinner afterwards, he's still picking up the check.
Point after, right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one taken just inside the 10. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
They'll run it now out of the gun. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets them a new set of downs. What makes a draw play like that successful?
Well, we did see where he made the first wave miss, and that was a big part of it. But a lot of it is just being actors back there, making the defense think it's going to be a pass.
They'll set up to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
All right, here we go. 3, 9, 2.
And they'll go on the ground. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
And an alley to run. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. 12 more yards there and another first down.
That's another nice run, and I have to tell you, some of the coaches that I played for, their philosophies were always different when they see a guy running the ball well. Some of them wanted to immediately go to play action and throw it now because it's wide open. While other coaches said, you know something? Until they stop him, that big boy's going to keep getting the football. And that might be the direction that they're going to go right now.
And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Detroit!
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 6 on the play, and it'll be 3rd down.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. Now whistles here, and we've got a man down. Man down on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. 3 red zone trips have yielded just 2 field goals for them to this point, so they'll be searching for something more on 2nd and goal here.
Green, 39.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. That one doesn't find its target, but all in all, he's been much sharper this week. He was under 50% a week ago, and now he's up over 70%.
But you know it's standard for quarterbacks and receivers get together for a little extra time each and every day in practice. I get the sense they got together for a lot of extra time.
And it's caught. Touchdown. In for the score. And his guy's now just a 2-point conversion away from tying us up. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown, because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it all. This time they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6. Is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
They're going to try and run. And he'll get into the end zone, and those 2 points are going to tie the game. Still time to work with on the clock, but they wanted to tie now, and they got it.
And I love their aggressiveness. Go ahead and get it done, get the game tied. Now your team has the momentum, and you're staring across the field saying, let's see if you can match us.
Nothing separating these 2 teams on the scoreboard as the kick's away here. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now back out comes the offense. After the long touchdown drive we just saw, you wonder if maybe that's taken a little of the wind out of this offense's sails, because they had it going pretty good last time, too.
Had to sit over there for a little while, didn't they? You know, they were eager, amped up to get back on the field after just scoring, hoping to get the ball back quickly. That didn't happen, so I'd say come out, just kind of get started again. You know, it doesn't have to be anything dramatic. Just get moving, get loose again, and see if they can get it downfield.
They'll set up a throw. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. That one goes for 36 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. And this is caught at the 8. And he will take it in for the touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And his guys are going to take the lead.
I know we often laugh, and sometimes we even exalt the guys who are great trash talkers and give us some really funny lines. But the bottom line is absolute production on the field. His 2nd touchdown of the game, and they lead.
And now they'll be looking to their defense to preserve that lead. Now the try here for the extra point. The extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is now 21-14. That drive started on their own 25. 2 plays, 75 yards later, into the end zone. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Do you stick with that formula?
That would be the number one thing you would think of, but so many guys now would look at it and say, we've got them set up so well for play action, now's the time to take a shot.
Yeah.
But, you know, there was a big-time coach in the state of Ohio who once said, if you throw the ball, if you put it in the air, three things can happen, and two of them are bad. He would have kissed it on the ground.
And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back now here in London, as it looks like we are just about set and ready to begin with the fourth. And this offense on third down today, they've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6.
Here we go. 3-19.
Looking to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on third down. This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
Blue 90.
He'll look to throw. And he's got his man on the comebacker. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there, and if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
And he's brought down. 11 more on that one, and another first down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So through 3 quarters, no reason. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And his guys are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Solid job up front, really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. And now a critical extra point attempt here. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild 4th quarter. Fairly short kick, taken at the 14 here.
So much for the worry about how they would be after losing their lead. What a big-time return to seize the momentum back.
Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down.
Here we go now. 3-19.
He'll drop to throw. He's going to wind up and air it out. It's caught inside the 25. And he's able to get this way down deep into enemy territory. And they rattle off a big one. 47 yards. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. 2nd down.
Coverage was very good that time. A nice job to smother him as the ball arrived, and that ensured an incomplete pass.
And it keeps 6 points off the board. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Delay of game, offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards.
Still 2nd down.
And now after the delay of game, they're operating behind the sticks, 2nd and 15.
All right, here we go.
They're going to look to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. That last catch, a big one, folks. He's now gone over 300 yards receiving in this game. It is a game for the ages. They'll look to throw again. His pass caught at the 4. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. Back to throw again. And this will be incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. And it's caught. Touchdown. In for the score. And his guys are going to take the lead. And down near the goal line here, they're able to throw it in.
And the key word, quick. Quick hitter. Out of his hands fast, into the receiver's hands even faster.
Now the extra point. Extra point right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now this offense about ready to take over again. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So it's our home team here in possession of the football as we come back. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. They'll look to throw. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. 1st down now, but that clock rolling. He's back to throw. Dancing to his left. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. They'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down. The clock still runs. We're at 90 seconds now. Back to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his huddle. Got to totally command it, make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
Now let's go. 3,
He'll look to throw. And an alley to run. And he slides to avoid the hit. He gets 7 out of it, and he also gets a first. First down now, but the clock continues to move. Back to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. On the crossing route, complete. It's Tucker. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. A good pickup there. 18 yards as they get closer for third down. Back to throw. And that is incomplete. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
It makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on fourth down.
All right, here we go.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And boy, is he close. Did he get there? No, they're going to say he's short of the line to gain. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. Well, they knew who to turn to on fourth down. Their horse, they needed the short yardage. He just couldn't get it.
And that's a surprise because normally that's bread and butter for them, right? Hand it to the big guy, let him go, pick up the first down. Didn't get it there. All credit to the defense. Usually, even if they know he's coming, he can't be stopped. And they got it.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the defense will get their hands on it, going the other way. And the field position doesn't get much better than this. They'll have it first and goal at the 8-yard line.
All right, partner, this is where I get to show my age. Because I remember when the strip sack kind of came into vogue, where defenders were taught not just to make the tackle, but do that little extra, try and jostle the arms of the runner and knock it free. And that's what we just saw there.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. That false start knocks him back behind the 10 now as they'll try again, first and goal. Back to throw here. And his ball is caught. It's a touchdown. And now in the final seconds, they're a PAT away from likely getting this thing to overtime.
Obviously, the excitement level here is almost a fever pitch. Down 1 is tempted to go for 2. I say you go ahead and kick the extra point. You got the home crowd, carry it into overtime.
I'm with you. I do see some fans, though, holding up 2 fingers. Easy now.
Yeah, but they're not the ones who have to actually make that call, are they?
So now this will be, in all likelihood, to force overtime. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good, and we may very well be headed to overtime. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this fourth quarter. And a short kick, taking it about the 16. And a very solid return out across the 45-yard line before going out of bounds.
Well, so much for the worry about how they would be after losing their lead. What a big-time return to seize the momentum back.
Good starting field position for them as they come up first and 10.
Here we go now. Green.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He's going to look deep down the field. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. 4 quarters not enough. We're all even, and to overtime we go.
How much fun is this for everyone who's watching the game? How much fun is it for us to see this one get an extra period to get settled?
And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now this offense ready to head back out there. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now. Gonna throw right side here, complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down. So they come out throwing in the extra session and get a nice hookup right away.
Tells you a lot about what a coach feels about his team, doesn't it? That type of a play in overtime, so many people in this situation play not to lose instead of playing to win. That throw there tells you exactly what they're trying to get done.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
3rd and 8 situation, a tough spot here in overtime on the opening drive.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90.
They'll drop to throw. Throws right side, and that's complete. And he's into the end zone for the touchdown and the game winner in OT. Partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, tried to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters what you wanted, but how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So for the home team here, their playoff chances take an uptick as they move to 7-4. And now it's off to Heathrow as they get set to fly back to the U.S. in a couple hours. Meanwhile, for our visitors, it's a loss that sets them back in their playoff push as they fall to 6-5. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.